To begin, open Microsoft Teams, and then make sure you click on the Teams icon at the left so you're viewing all of your teams. Then you want to navigate to your class team and open it up. Next, you're going to go to Assignments. And within Assignments, you're going to click on Create, Learning Accelerators, and you'll select Reading Progress. All right, at this stage, you now will decide what passage to use in this assignment. You can upload a Word or PDF document. You can generate a reading passage with AI, or you can browse the sample library. Let's take a look at the sample library first. Here you'll see these passages come from ReadWorks, and they're organized by grade level. And you'll also see a Lexile level for each passage and a word count. So you can simply select one of these if you would like to use it within your assignment. You can also preview it right here. So you can go ahead and read the passage before assigning it. Let's go back and we'll cancel that. Now let's look at importing a Word or PDF. So here you simply will navigate to either your OneDrive, or you can navigate to a document that you already have in your class team, or you can upload from this device. I'll go ahead and upload from OneDrive. And here I'm going to see my last accessed files, but I can click on OneDrive here and I can navigate to my folders. I can also click on Teams and navigate to the folders within one of my class teams. So I'm going to go to OneDrive and I'll go ahead and select the file. Again, it can be Word or PDF. And then I'll click Select. Now this document is imported into the Immersive Reader assignment, and here you can preview to make sure that everything translated the way you want it to. But know that you can actually edit this document by clicking here and make any corrections if something got lost in translation during the upload. You can also change the title, and we'll go ahead and click on the check mark here to save this. Now, if you want to see what this looks like for the student, you can click on Student View, and you can step through the assignment as if you were a student in your class. All right, over on the right, this is where you can adjust settings and add information. For example, you can enter the Lexile level of your passage. This is optional. It's essentially for your own information. You can also select the genre. And then you have number of attempts. So if you would only like your students to make one attempt, you can do that. Or you can set another number of attempts, or you can leave it on the default, which is unlimited attempts. You can also set a time limit. If you expect your students to be able to finish reading within 10 minutes, you can set it there. Under opt-in time limit cutoff feature, when this is turned on, your students will have to opt in to the time limit, but you can turn that off if you'd like. Pronunciation sensitivity. This is the analysis of your students' reading. And so you can adjust the sensitivity of this analysis to less sensitive or more sensitive. I recommend starting with less sensitive when you begin using Reading Progress for the first time. Below that is Reading Coach. And I recommend leaving this on. What this will do is it will allow the students to practice words that they mispronounced or omitted after they're done. Here, this is a relatively new setting. You can now add comprehension questions to your reading passage. Just turn this on here, and you'll need to build out the questions using Microsoft Forms. And then finally, we have require video. If you turn this off, this allows your students to not use their video if they choose. All right, and then we're going to click on next up here at the top right. Now here we're going to be taken to the general settings of the assignment, such as the assignment title, the assignment instructions. Down here, you're going to have the link. This is what the students will click in order to start the assignment. I recommend that you also remind them to click turn in after they have completed the assignment. Okay, off to the right, you can set your due date and time. You can assign this to multiple classes if you'd like to. And here under all current students, if you would like to differentiate, you can assign this to individual students. Also, I recommend choosing all current and future students. This way, if you get a new student in your class after you've created this, they will still have access to the assignment. Optionally, you can add a rubric, you can set a point value, you can add a tag, and finally, you can turn on the Reflect check-in. This is Microsoft Reflect, which will ask them how they felt about the assignment. All right, and when you're done, you can either save this as a draft if you're not ready to make it available to students yet, or you can click Assign so it is available to them now. All right, and here you'll see your assignment. You can click back into this if you need to make edits. Also, be aware that once the students have completed the assignment, it will be found under Ready to Grade. If you don't find it there, it may be under Past Due if the due date has passed. All right, and that is how you create a reading progress assignment. Now for your students, they will come into your class team, and then they will see it here under the general posts, where they can get to it here, or they can click on assignments at the left and find it in here. All right, enjoy reading progress.